Hello. Today we'll be discussing ideologies that influenced General Giap. Question: what were the ideologies that guided General Giap? Though you may have read the prescribed books, the answer to this question is spread across the book. If you have not seen the answer to such a question, you may get a sort of mental block. And the three such questions in succession in the exam may sometimes paralyze you. The art is to leave a space and then start attempting the other questions which you know, and later on come back to answer such questions. By that time, you would have jotted down some points on the margins. So, coming back to the question per se, General Giap, a military leader in the Vietnamese struggle for independence and unification, was influenced by a combination of ideologies that shaped his strategic and military thinking. These ideologies are listed on the slide: the communism, nationalism, Maoism, anti-imperialism, and pragmatism. We'll go through these ideologies one by one in the succeeding slides. Communism. General Giap was deeply influenced Marxist-Leninist ideology. He joined the Indo-Chinese Communist Party in 1930s and believed in the principles of class struggle and overthrow the imperialist and the feudal system. This ideological foundation guided his effort to mobilize the Vietnamese peasantry and workers against the French colonial rule and later against the American intervention. Giap were instrumental in organizing the Viet Minh, the League for Independence of the Vietnam, which was heavily influenced by the Marxist-Leninist principles. The Viet Minh was established as a broad coalition but was led by the Indo-Chinese Communist Party, reflecting the Leninist ideas of a vanguard party leading a broad-based revolutionary movement. Then the land reforms and the mobilization of the peasantry. Giap placed a strong emphasis on the political education and propaganda, consisting of Marxist-Leninist principles. Giap applied Marxist-Leninist principles to his military strategies, particularly the concept of protracted people's war, influenced by Lenin's idea on role of the masses in the revolution and Mao Zedong's adaptation of these ideas to guerrilla warfare. Giap emphasized the importance of mobilizing the peasantry, using the countryside as a base, and employing a combination of regular and irregular military tactics. Then the propaganda and political education. Giap placed strong emphasis on the political education and propaganda, consistent again with the Marxist-Leninist principles. Strategic alliance with the other communist states. Giap was instrumental in securing support from other communist states, particularly China and the Soviet Union. These alliances were based on the shared Marxist Leninist ideology and were crucial for obtaining military, economic, logistical support, which significantly contributed to the success of the Vietnamese Revolution. Nationalism. Giap was fervent Vietnamese nationalist. His primary goal was the independence and unification of Vietnam. He was inspired by earlier Vietnamese leaders who resisted foreign domination, such as Emperor Quang Trung and the Trung sisters, and sought to revive the spirit of national resistance against the colonial power. Some of the examples of his of nationalism are support to Ho Chi Minh's vision. Giap was a staunch supporter of Ho Chi Minh, who was symbolic leader of the Vietnamese nationalism. Ho Chi Minh's vision unified independent Vietnam free from the foreign domination was a guiding principle of Giap, founding and leading the Vietnam. Giap was founding member and the key leader of the Vietnam, an organization dedicated to the national liberation of Vietnam from the French colonial rule. Opposition to the American intervention. Giap's opposition to the American intervention in Vietnam during the Vietnam War further demonstrates his nationalism. He viewed the American involvement as another form of foreign domination and was determined to resist it to achieve full national sovereignty. Building a national army. Giap played a crucial role in the building of Vietnam People's Army, transforming it from guerrilla force into a formidable conventional military. His focus was on creating a strong national defense force capable of protecting Vietnam's sovereignty and independence. Focus on national unity. Giap emphasized the importance of national unity in the struggle for the independence. He worked to unite with various political and social groups under the common cause of the national liberation. Maoism. The influence of Chinese revolutionary leader Mao Zedong was significant on Giap. Mao's principles of guerrilla warfare, particularly the emphasis on the strategic use of rural bases, the importance of winning popular support, and the protracted People's War strategy were integral part of General Giap's tactics. Anti-imperialism. Giap's ideology was also shaped by a strong anti-imperialist sentiment. He opposed not just the French colonialism but also the American intervention in Vietnam. His belief in the right of nations to self determine and resistance against the imperialism was a central theme in his leadership and military strategies. Pragmatism. While committed to the communist ideology, Giap was also pragmatic in his approach. He adapted his strategies based on the changing political military landscape. This pragmatism allowed him to be flexible and innovative in his tactics, combining conventional and guerrilla warfare methods effectively. So, to conclude, we can say the five ideologies which we have listed above combined to make formidable military strategists out of General Giap, who played a crucial role in the defeat of French forces and also eventually in the defeat of the Americans in the Vietnam War. Thank you.